The Warren Central Dragons had an excellent regular season game, losing only one game, and now it's playoff time, and it's here. They are getting ready to make a deep. What did I just do? Who wrote that?
One thing that will look to help. One thing that will look up their cause is their explosive offense, which has scored over 40 points 6 times this season. Joining us now is the head coach, Mike Rogers. Coach, we appreciate you being on today.
All right, thanks.
I butchered it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to freelance it next time, Coach. I know what you've done.
You made it a lot easier for me because you're the professional.
No.
And I'm the one that's supposed to stutter.
Coach, first of all, just talk to us about, I know the regular season's over, playoffs are here. Does the mindset of the team change at all once now that it's playoff time?
It better, because it's do or die, and rankings and regular season records mean absolutely nothing. You lose, and perhaps, in our case, 9-1, you got all these rankings and expectations and things. You lose, it doesn't really matter. In fact, you're kind of looked down upon about your successes in season was a fluke. So we've cranked it up a notch, and the expectations are high, and we hopefully will thrive in that environment.
Coach, obviously 0-0 record right now, but I want to take you back to the regular season. I mean, you guys started right off at the beginning of the year in the Fruit of the Loom Bowl. You take on Trousdale County, who has double-digit state championships in Tennessee. You guys just take them to the woodshed. In fact, they're 9-1 this season. The only game they've lost is against you. You've had a great regular season. You play Bowling Green, your only regular season loss. They say you can learn things from a loss. What did you guys get out of that Bowling Green game to kind of get you ready for this postseason?
I think that's the one game, and perhaps Trousdale, and you alluded to that was a playoff atmosphere.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. The bowl game, it was such a huge crowd. The play was not playoff caliber. It was the first game of the regular season deal. But Trousdale carries a large crowd.
Yep.
We had a bunch of fans there. The environment, the energy was there. You could feel it. With Bowling Green, obviously, it was ramped up a bunch. There's ryegrass instead of Bermuda. All that stuff and the rivalry and all the stakes and all that thing. But we put a young football team on the field against a bunch of seniors. They have a ton, and their expectations are high. Ours are high and all that stuff, and we did not perform well. And so we got a chance to go back and evaluate how we practice, what we put into practice, what our scheme is, just everything that we're doing. We didn't change a lot, but how we're doing it and what we're doing to prepare ourselves better. And hopefully against a great opponent each and every week in the playoffs, we'll learn from that. We'll have to prove it.
Coach, your guys' offense has been really explosive this year, as we mentioned. You guys scored over 40 points 6 times. Kind of talk about that offense. What has it been this year you think that has really helped you guys score so many points?
We are youthful on the defensive side, lots of youth. But on the offense, we do have quite a bit of experience. And we've got 3 senior running backs. We've got a senior wide receiver. We've got a quarterback that's played as a starter 2 years, played some as a freshman. We'll have him back next year. But our tight end is a second-year starter. He's a senior. So offensively, we do have a lot of experience. But I think the big thing about our offense, our powerful running game is well noted. People prepare for that. They're going to try to stop it. But Michael has thrown the ball at such a high completion rate and put the ball in good spots for us, thrown the ball on time for the most part. And we've protected well with the exception of one game, kept him on his feet where he could deliver the football. And when you mix that in, it's hard to scheme defense to stop things. So that has certainly helped us, and I think we've improved in the last 3 or 4 weeks in that facet of the game.
Coach, obviously, when we tape this show, it airs after your first-round playoff game, but you're playing against a team that you coached at one point in time. How weird is that? And obviously you've been getting a lot of media attention from that part of the state as well.
Lots of friends down there, and I tell you, their superintendent called me today to wish me well and my family, and that meant a lot. So the secretary that called me, her boys played for me down there. So that was my first head coaching job, the one that I left to come here. But they have a great program, a young program that's grown leaps and bounds year after year after year, and I was glad to play a part of that. I have family that still lives there. My brother still lives in Mayfield. Lots of friends, and many of the kids that are older now, where the kids we started out in the youth program. And so I've watched them come up, except for the last 3 years, and now to kind of try to scheme for them, I find myself watching some of those kids. I can't help it just to see how they've improved and done. So I've needed a haircut for about 3 weeks. I haven't gotten it. I've needed to shave all week. I haven't gotten it because I've spent a lot of time checking on those kids. But we've prepared extremely well, and hopefully by the time this airs, people say, well, why is he talking about it? Because they played really well, and it was a good playoff game, and they're moving on.
Did they look a lot like the team when you were there coaching, or have they added, some different wrinkles in the offense and defensive schemes?
No, actually, their coach comes from the same coaching line as me. He was an assistant at John Harden for Mark Brown, who will be a Hall of Fame coach real soon. I coached with Coach Brown at Nelson County before he went to John. So I've known Coach Gregory. We've done camps together. We run the same offense. Their defense is quite a bit different, but I know their defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator at Mayfield when I was at Graves. So we've lined up many times. There's been a lot of VCR tapes rolling this week looking at the old Mayfield defenses and then what we did at Graves, and I know their VCRs are rolling with some VHS tape too.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by.
All
we
right.
wish you the best of luck coming up in the playoffs.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Time for a quick break, but stick around. You're watching the Sports Connection on WBKO.